Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Leo's YouTube channel, Speak to Your Heart. This episode today, we are going to talk about the second part 2, continuation on the pathway to be a DTM. That is the new pathway started by Toastmasters. And with us, ladies and gentlemen, we have a young, upcoming, upstanding, and a budding Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster Midat, who will take us through the journey with her burning questions in part 2 of becoming a DTM. Ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, put your hands together to welcome Madam Toastmaster Midat. Madam Toastmaster Midat, the floor is all yours. Please shoot your questions.
Good evening. Thank you, DTM Leo, for having me again on your show. It's a pleasure to be here. It was a very interesting session last time where we discussed how we can move forward on our journey and what are the steps that we need to take in order to become a DTM. Now, today I've come up with questions because, whenever there is a goal, there are challenges. And today I'd like to know, what are the challenges you face to become a DTM? That will be my first question to you.
There are a number of challenges I faced to become a DTM, but I enjoyed the journey into be a DTM. I think I mentioned in my last episode that my whole intention was not to be a DTM. DTM just happened along the way. My main focus was to be a good speaker, a wow speaker, I would say, to be better than myself, what I was when I joined Toastmasters. But along the way, as I continued my pursuit of excellence to be an excellent speaker, I covered a number of speeches. I did a number of speeches because I knew only one fact, that the more you speak in front of public, the better you become. So to me, it was all about stage time, stage time, stage time. And I took to the stage in Toastmasters as many times as possible, not only in Toastmasters, but outside Toastmasters too. And along the journey, as was doing my speeches, and I got the awards, that's the old DTM. That is, I finished my CC, then I finished my CL, I did my Advanced Communicator Bronze, Communicator Silver, Communicator Gold, then I did my Advanced Leadership Silver, then I completed my HPL, and there
Wow.
was DTM. But it took me a long time. It took me almost 10 years. Yeah, almost 10 years to become a DTM. But I enjoyed the journey. One of the major challenges I faced was to get a district officer position as a leader. That was my main challenge that I faced. Rest, it was just smooth sailing for me. I was a member of 2 clubs, sometimes 3 clubs. So I could give my speeches quite often in different clubs and get their opinions, feedbacks on my speech. And I collected as many feedbacks as possible. Because as I said, feedback is the breakfast for champions. And feedback is the
Indeed.
core element and essence of becoming a champion speaker. That was the major challenge I faced. One, yes, to become a district officer. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster Midat.
Would you like to shed some light exactly what were the challenges that you faced at the stage of district level?
Yeah, to become a district officer, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, in district officer, I realized in Toastmasters there were a lot of politics going on. Each one wanted their own people to be a area director, and I was a novice. I don't know anything about politics, and I realized that's a fact that there was a particular group, a particular community in Toastmasters in Dubai, which is to favor their own people. This is my findings, I mean, my experiences. And we didn't have many clubs in those days like we have now. I'm talking about a good, I would say, 7, 8 years, 10 years back.
Okay.
So that was the main challenge that I faced because my community, I'm a Goan from a small called Goa. And there are no Goans in Toastmasters I could find, at least that one. So there's no community. And secondly, I wasn't into politics. Politics is not my cup of tea. You know. So I lost 2 times area director. And I said, let me give it a try the third time. And by that time, I have almost done all my speeches. And if I don't be, I said, the third time area director, Toastmasters is not for me. Leadership is
Okay.
not for me. And leadership was the only uh, attribute that was pending in my goal. After all, Toastmasters is not only about communication, as they say, where leaders are made. So that is the challenge I faced to become a district officer, that is an area director.
Okay, now linking to your answer for my second question, I'd like to know, so what's your opinion, or maybe perhaps your feedback, that becoming a DTM in Toastmaster, is it all about context or capabilities?
Well, I would say both here and there. But one thing I would suggest, just be yourself, be sincere, be true to yourself, and focus on your own goals of what you have started off to be in Toastmasters. Like if your goal was to be a very good, excellent communicator, an excellent public speaker, to woo the audience, etc., be that. If it is to become a good leader, to brush up, iron up your skills in leadership, do that. But you can't be a good leader if you're not a good communicator. People like to see a person, then aura, a charisma, something about a person that will attract the audiences. Leaders, followers like to follow a leader who has got that capability, who speak well, who tells well, with commanding respect from the followers. So you got to be a good communicator to be a good leader. And yes, it's all about contacts will come once you provide value to other Toastmasters. Automatically, they will trace to myself, oh my gosh, this Toastmaster is important to the community and he can provide value and he can provide value to me. So as long as you provide value to your fellow Toastmasters, they'll give you importance. And it's not about whom you know, it's who knows you. That's more important. Once you are up in the hierarchy of getting elected to leadership positions as a area director or division director or as a district director or in the district positions. That's all I would say about capabilities. Yes, that is very important. Because no matter what you are, the audience ratifies in their mind exactly that, yes, Madam Toastmaster Medat is something. She speaks so well, eloquently. Her articulation is amazing. I would love to listen to the person. So the moment an audience, anybody for that matter, says, I would love to listen to that particular Toastmaster, then yes, your capabilities are already there. You have arrived on the scene to be something in Toastmasters. Does that answer your question?
Yes, very well. And it's very thoughtful how you put it up, everything together. And I would sum up that yes, a good communicator, be yourself, and be sincere. I think these three elements are pretty much enough to take us where we really want to achieve it,
Yes,
whatever goals we have set for ourselves.
absolutely. At
So
the end of the day, yeah, please carry on.
from my end, I think I'm done with all my questions. If you'd like to add something. Feel free.
No, there's nothing more to add, but we can just sum up what we did last time on the pathway to be a DTM. Yes, the pathway to be a DTM is number one, you need to complete 2 learning paths. Number two, you got to be a club officer in your Toastmasters club where you are a member. Could be any one of the 7 positions that exist in the executive committee. Number three, you got to serve 1 year term as a district officer. Could be area director, division director, or in the district committee. Number four, you got to be a club mentor or a coach. Number five is you got to be a sponsor or assist or be a coordinator for a youth leadership program or a speech craft program. And of course, number six, you got to complete the entire DTM path and submit the award to headquarters. After getting your approvals from your club, VP Education or President. That is all the 6 steps that are required to complete your DTM and pathways. Anything more, Midat, I have missed out? You think that it'll
No,
add value to our listeners?
I believe you have pretty much covered everything, and I just hope that whoever is on their path to become a DTM, it will be helpful to them.
Yes. And I always say, enjoy the journey to the path to become a DTM.
Definitely. It's more
Enjoy,
about the journey than about the destination.
yes, enjoy the experience. That's more like. With that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we end up the part 2 on the pathways to be a DTM. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Midat.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Yeah. Bye bye. All the best.